coverage.
More experience. More stats.
And that's final.
ET Final Score is brought to you by Ashley Furniture.
Hello, football fans, and welcome to our ETFinalScore.com high school preview show. I'm Joe Buie, your host, and leading off the show is Harold Wilson, who works for the Tyler Morning Telegraph and ETFinalScore.com. Harold covers the John Tyler Lions, who are currently marching through the state playoffs. Harold, analyze John Tyler's big win last week in the area round against Wiley.
Well, you saw John Tyler set a school record in winning the first playoff game against Waxahachie, scoring 77 points. You saw last week their ability to dominate from the defensive end. That's what jumped out, holding Wiley to only 183 yards. So they're showing right now that they can do it offensively, they can do it defensively.
All right. And then kind of characterize this John Tyler team.
Well, like I was saying, Joe, they're well-rounded. You know, they've got athletes on both sides of the football, but this team has a real business-like approach they've made. You know, no apologies about it. Their mind's set on winning the state championship, and they're not really getting too high right now. And also, you got to add in, they've got a little swagger. I mean, this team comes out confident. They know what they can do, and I think that stems from head coach Rick LaHolmes. He's bringing that old Cujo swagger back to the team.
All right. And talk about Tyus Bowser's ability to dominate a game in so many ways. Tyus Bowser, for people who don't know, he's a defensive tackle or defensive end?
Defensive end. That's one of his positions. Tyus handles the deep snapping. He plays defensive end. He's a backup wide receiver, backup quarterback. Last week he even broke a long kickoff return. Wow. He has 4.5 speed. He's built like a, I don't know, like steel, like a man of steel. Had 7 sacks last week. He's got 19 for the season. He's right now on that short list of great players to come through John Tyler. You know about the offensive talent, but when you got a guy like that that can dominate defense, it makes him that much tougher to beat.
Well, what's the best thing going for JT right now?
Right now they can control the game because Greg Ward is such a savvy quarterback. 34 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. So you know that the offense is going to move the ball unless they fumble it right now. And the defense, one thing about them is they always make adjustments. They're able to get off the field on third down, but probably the biggest thing that stands out is turnover ratio. They're plus 20 in turnover ratio right now. So that's just increasing their opportunities to put that potent offense back on the field.
And JT's biggest concern right now?
Right now, probably the only thing I can really nitpick is them maybe going away from the running game, not being balanced, maybe getting too pass happy because they know they can strike at any time with Greg Ward and his weapons. So I think if they keep it balanced, keep doing what they're doing, it's not a whole lot of worries right now.
All right. So this week in the regional round, we got JT taking on Frisco for a Division I regional playoff, 7:30 Friday at Allen.
Yeah.
So kind of what does Frisco bring to the table?
Well, they're a little bit of old school, which is something in this era of spread offenses, but they're a wing T team. They're a ball control offense. They got like 6 or 7 guys with over 200 yards rushing, so they're going to pound you. They complete a high percentage of passes, kind of like the old John Tyler teams with Allen Wilson. So this is the kind of team you don't want to fall behind because they want to control the clock. I think this is probably, from a style standpoint, the best way to beat John Tyler. You know, Robert E. Lee was able to beat him with that kind of attack a few years ago, and Klein knocked him out the playoffs in 2009 in the state quarterfinals. So these kind of ball control teams, it's a good way to try to counter what John Tyler does.
All right. Now, compare this JT playoff run to some of the most recent ones.
Obviously, in 2009, in 2010, they went to the state quarters. Last year, they went to the state semifinals. But this team is just the senior leadership they've got, the experience, because you've got 9 guys that have been on varsity 3 years. This team just got a little more muscle to them. They've been there, and you can tell that they're not going to be satisfied unless they're playing in Cowboy Stadium. So they're probably the most focused out of all those teams, probably the most talented too.
All right, Harold. And quick mention, the game's going to be at a special stadium this week.
Yes, Eagle Stadium in Allen, $59.6 million. The top high school stadium, I think most people would agree, not only in Texas but probably in all of America. So this is a big stage for John Tyler to get a chance to showcase, you know, this kind of team that everybody's been looking at.
And the seating is 18,000?
18,000, exactly, yep.
All right. All right, Heb, we'll talk to you next week.
All right, thanks.